Welcome to Furcast, episode 313. I'm one of your guests this evening, Sophos.
And I'm your host, Paradox the Red Wolf.
I'm a Blue Fox.
I am your returning guest, Gaia Wellen.
And we are airing at 100 UTC tonight because thank you, Daylight Savings. So apologies to any of our European listeners or anybody that's had to deal with weird time change bullshit. Hopefully that'll be over with. And Gaia and Sophos are joining us tonight.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Yay!
You were on last night's show as well. It was fun.
Indeed.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes, our other show got rebranded. It's Friday Night Tracks now instead of Friday Night Tech. Ooh. Which was actually a lot of work, a lot of links to fix, and a lot of scripts to update and stuff like that. But yeah, it's all good. Well, I don't have much to jump into for the intro. I guess one thing I'll say is I know that for those who are listening to the podcast normally, I haven't posted the last two episodes. I know. I'm sorry. I was just going nuts prepping for our other show. I had to edit an intro for it, and work was really crazy this week, and I was in the hospital last week. So, yeah, basically, I will have those episodes posted ASAP. In the meantime, one thing to mention is that we do have a Telegram chat. So if anybody's interested in that, you can go to t.me/furcastfm. You can also just type furcastfm in your search on Telegram. And there's a little message. You got to talk to a little bot just to get the link, just to, it's a way to avoid spam. But anyway, some of you are probably thinking, okay, well, if we have a Telegram chat, then how does that work with the whole, having an IRC in the website? And the truth is, we don't know. So anyway, no. Basically, I don't know. We're trying it. I've also had some requests from people to try Discord as well for a chat, although I don't think as many of our fans use Discord, but that might be something we can try at some point. The point is, though, it used to be that when Furcast was over, there would be a whole bunch of people in the chat room that would stay, and we had a little community going, and that's just kind of not a thing anymore on IRC, unfortunately. And IRC is really great because you don't need a phone number, you don't need any pre-existing, you can literally just type a name and join, and that's great. But for a lot of you guys, for continuous chatting and stuff, it's just, especially on, when it comes to mobile, I mean, yeah, technically, if you're one of those people who puts an IRC client on your phone, you can, but how many of you do that? So, point is, we're going to try it. We did look into bridging them, but that's kind of a pain in the ass, and it doesn't really work. And so, yeah, we'll give it a try. We'll see how long it lasts. It might not last forever, but... and if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, do let us know. We'll take a look at it.
What about the phone number?
Oh, yeah, we do have a new
that's
phone
awesome.
number as well. I'll say the phone number, but we're not going to take calls right now because we're in the middle of the regular show. We'll do that after the show's over. But we have a new phone number. It is toll-free for U.S. and Canada. It is 1-855-NOT-XBN, as in KNOT-XBN. Yeah. So I actually bought that with real money. So yeah, if you're in the U.S. and Canada, you can dial toll-free. For some carriers outside the U.S., if you dial a certain number, there's tricks to get toll-free. We do have a local number as well, technically, and we will still use Discord for calls as well. So if anybody wants to just use Discord to call, we'll do that. Anyway, Roundup. I can jump into the Roundup. I'm going to click a button and then click another button. Roundup is the segment where basically we throw a bunch of fucking links at you, and then you can check them out on your own after the show. Basically, it's kind of like news, but news that we're not really going to delve into. We just want to show you. So, that stuff. So last week, or last episode, we talked about the giant bull tar that was in a parade in France and how awesome it is. And this news agency had some other cool videos of their spider, which looks ridiculous, as well as their tour, which was really awesome, and how some of the mechanics worked and stuff. And also some people on Twitter were linking pictures of what it looked like on the side, broken down, and being put together and everything. So it was really, really, really cool. So we talked about that last week, but there's another link to it. It's a real-life minotaur tar, because a minotaur isn't really a four-legged thing, but anyway. Anyway, Midwest Fur Fest had an interesting week on Twitter. They got suspended from Twitter. And this is Spaz Fox tweeting about it. I believe Spaz Fox is, I want to say staff at MFF, not 100% sure. But anyway, Midwest Fur Fest got suspended because apparently Twitter thought that they were under 13 because Midwest Fur Fest tweeted that they were 8 years old. And some algorithm somewhere alerted Twitter that they were 8 years old. And so Twitter was like, nope. So that was a thing. But we also have an official tweet from one of MFF's alternate accounts, basically just tweeting like, "Hey, we're working on it," and I believe they are back again. So that was interesting. Next, BuzzFeed had a video featuring some furries, which was rather interesting.
What do you think is about to happen today?
I have no idea.
What do you know about the furry community?
And basically, they had a bunch of people meet some fursuiters.
In general, furry animals.
They with tails on and
What do you know?
Overall, it was an interesting video. I ended up watching it with one of my friends, Jesse, who does our shoutouts. It ends up spinning it in a positive light, but they still do that weird thing where they like interview people in suit, and it's like, who does that? I don't know. Like, they didn't really incorporate any of the performance or anything, so I don't know. But yeah, BuzzFeed, thanks, I guess. But link to that in the roundup. In the meantime,
next on our rundown tonight, we have a date to circle on your calendar tonight that an awful lot of Western New Yorkers have been waiting to hear.
Yeah, we have an opening date for Chick-fil-A.
that's right. Chick-fil-A is opening a location near us. This is really relevant for CJ and anybody who lives near us. But we haven't had Chick-fil-A, and we don't have a lot of things.
Chick-fil-A today.
Well, you had Chick-fil-A
You had to
today.
drive
but you had to
where
drive
was
an
it?
hour
Yeah.
for it, right?
Yeah.
Most,
worth it.
most people are not going to drive an hour to Rochester to get Chick-fil-A.
Jesus chicken.
It was worth it.
I know CJ would.
Jesus chicken.
It's Jesus chicken with pickles.
Jesus chicken with pickles. But no, we don't have a lot of things here. We don't have IKEA. We don't have Costco. We don't have Micro Center. We don't have Fry's. We don't have...
CJ came and picked me up and said we're going to Chick-fil-A. So I said, okay.
All right. That's pretty good. Pretty good deal. Speaking of furries in the media, CNN had a piece, What You Don't Get About Furry Fursonas. And I believe this was promotion for one of their pieces that they did recently on furry stuff. Not 100% sure, but yeah, there was some interesting stuff. They featured some art and some pictures of fursuits, so we'll link to that. In the meantime, you guys know Infernity was on last week, and there were some interesting videos of Infernity, but I had to share this one. It's kind of ridiculous. And it's just a bunch of fursuiters dancing to something that I think is kind of turning into a meme. I'm not really sure. But that was a thing. But yeah. Cute YouTube video with them dancing and some alternate shots and stuff. Infernity looked like a really fun time. I want to go to Infernity at some point.
And I do believe, actually, Anthro Northwest is happening this weekend as well.
Anthro Northwest is
going
this
on,
weekend.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So anyone that's there, have an awesome time.
Meanwhile, Jeremy Blake. Now, I have featured Jeremy Blake's music on the show. For those who don't know, Jeremy Blake, he's secretly a furry. He's a snap. Anyway, he runs a popular YouTube channel called Red Means Recording, and by popular, I mean 240,000 subscribers at the time of recording this. Anyway, Red Means Recording. Normally, it's like a synthesizer videos and tutorials about music and really cool stuff, and including a track that I'll actually play later tonight. I really like Jeremy's stuff. He released this
I like
video.
the first comment straight to my workout playlist.
They tried to put me on the cover of Vogue, but my legs were too long.
It is a shitpost video about man-wolves. So...
Tall foxes.
Yep, tall foxes.
Spent so much work on this thing, though.
Like, he put so much fucking work into this, and it's just like...
Runway, ready for it, hunter.
I kind of want this to go viral.
Yes.
Like, it just-
absolutely. It deserves to.
It says, Maine wolves have long legs. Thank you for subscribing to Maine Wolf Facts. Okay, thanks, Jeremy. But anyway, shout out to Jeremy's YouTube channel, though. If you are interested in music production and audio gear and stuff like that, definitely worth checking out. He does some pretty cool stuff.
Depression is here.
And it's a track. It's a music track. I'll play it later.
It's a good track.
Yeah, it's a good track. That's Roundup. Hooray.
It was Guy Fawkes Day a few days ago.
I always forget the history of Guy Fawkes because every once in a while I look. I mean, I know the story that's like in the movie and everything. Like the
The guy who tried to
Wachowski
blow up
stories.
Parliament.
Yeah, but wasn't he like? Isn't there like a bunch of information that like is less commonly
It was
shared
a
about him?
religious terrorist.
Yeah, wasn't he like a
basically.
religious terrorist
He was.
basically?
Yeah.
I forget. I don't remember. I do. The movie's good though. I do like the Wachowskis movie. In fact, speaking of Wachowskis, for anybody who is interested in Sense8 on Netflix, apparently there is a petition to do a season 3, which is interesting because they did a finale movie after season 2. But apparently Netflix official is literally asking people to sign a petition, wondering how many fans are interested. So if you're interested in Sense8 season 3, go ahead and sign that, I guess. And that's pretty much that. Well, yeah.
He feared the Spanish Inquisition,
Mm.
but nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
I read a story one time about having users submit more meaningful bug reports. The software developer added a sound effect to the application so that when a crash occurred, it would turn the computer's volume all the way to maximum and then play "Nobody Expects the Spanish Inquisition."
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds kind of annoying.
It was for like an Office internal kind of thing, but the rate of crash reports went up significantly and the application got much more reliable.
That's the actual consequence is that shit gets fixed, right? It kind of reminds me of the guy who we read a story about a while back who his municipality was not fixing potholes, so he would just spray paint dicks around them, and then all of a sudden, miraculously, they would get fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's kind of similar. But, one thing, though, is that gets really annoying, especially if it starts crashing. We were talking about ringtones today, and I was adding ringtones to my smartphone.
Yeah.
And every time I'd find one that was really cool, I'd be like, well, it's really cool sounding, but do I want to hear that like 6 times in a row and somebody spams me with stickers on Telegram? Probably not. Yeah. So,
So we went there to get tea, and you bought tea. And I'm almost 100% certain you paid more for the ringtones at that table than you did for the tea.
Oh, yeah, because I bought a bunch of ringtones from like, the official like ringtone store because I didn't feel like making them myself or syncing them.
Including one that was the classic Nokia ringtone.
Oh, yeah, I have. Yeah, let's see. Here, I'll
and
pull them up.
it's exactly as piercing and awful as you can
play
imagine.
it
So
through the mic
this
and make it
is
worse?
this is my normal text ringtone, which is the Toronto subway sound effect. Then I've got Kim Possible, and then I've got Duck Hunt, and then I've got Nokia, which is great.
Ow.
And then
I think of Jurassic Park every time I hear that.
And then I've got this one.
Yep.
So there you go. But anyway, I'm gonna set that back to what it is normally. Yep. So there you go. We were playing with ringtones today. That's pretty much that. Not too much stuff happened in like furry news this week, but we can jump into our regular like shitpost news segment. That's what we should call it. What if we just call it shitpost news?
It's the shitpost hour.
It's just shit.
Not wrong.
It's not. Yeah,
No.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Exactly what it is.
it'd be pretty accurate. So yeah, maybe it might be an option. All right. Does anybody have something they want to start with? Maybe. There was a lot of stuff in there. Let me scroll through it myself and see what we got. We have a lot of really stupid news. And also the study that Sophos found, which is really great. I can't wait to read that
Yeah,
one,
that's gonna be
actually.
interesting.
We do have a lot of stuff tonight. It's just
Yeah,
not furry
absolutely.
related.
Pharaoh, do you want to take the moth one or should I? Because I think you do a better job at reading it.
I can do that one.
The one I told you about this morning.
Spiders have fursuits now.
Spiders
Oh,
have
no.
fursuits.
Yeah, read that one and then the moth one, or vice versa. The insect things. That should work.
All right. Well, I like how this news website just popped up and said, "You're using an ad blocker," and then it said, "Continue with ad blocker," and I clicked it, and it just gave me the article. It's like,
I
oh.
appreciate that.
I was like, oh, okay.
When they don't, like, unlike Forbes, which just breaks everything.
Yeah, there you
At
go.
least in my experience.
All right, well, I have an article at some point if none of you guys want to start.
Oh, I did not have anything quite ready.
Yeah.
Put a link for the picture in Biology and Animals.
Okay. I'll pull that up. You want to start with that?
Sure.
All right. Biology. There it is.
Pharaoh, you used the show notes document.
Oh, wow, that is freaking creepy. Wow, that is
Oh,
so
wait.
weird.
What's... Oh.
All right, yeah, I'll let you start with that one. Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
Spiders, the terrors among us.
Yeah, pretty much.
They fly, they breathe underwater, they swim,
They teleport with
they
their
can
webs.
float thousands of miles into your home and watch you from the corners.
If they could catch the wasps that keep coming in, I'd appreciate that.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I had to do that myself. Thanks, spiders.
Well, one more thing they can do. Wear fursuits.
Wear fursuits.
Go on.
Or craft their bodies to make it look like a wolf head.
Actually, it looks like your dog, but like color swapped.
It does, yeah.
It's, more,
kinda.
it's that type of dog.
God, it's so creepy looking.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna show
Bothers
this
me
on.
a lot.
It bothers me a lot. So I'll let you get started reading it.
This new arachnid looks like it has a dog head.
Photo on live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the werewolf spider?
Ooh.
No.
Werewolf spider.
It TFs into a half werewolf.
I'm gonna bang suggest
Just the
that.
head.
All right, there we go.
A bizarre arachnid that has a dog-like head has been snapped in a series of photographs that just show how wild and wonderful our natural world is. I don't think wild and wonderful are the words that I would like to use on that.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
No.
Creepy, bizarre, terrifying. It's like Animorphs, but spiders are turning more into other animals,
Yeah.
but still with 8 legs.
Arachnomorphs?
Arachnomorphs. No.
Shared on Twitter by science writer Faris Jabir, the images were taken by a scientist and photographer Andres K. You can check out his Flickr page with other wonderful creatures here. The animal is an arachnid, not a spider, called the bunny harvestman.
Bunny Harvestman.
That looks like a wolf.
Yeah.
The eyes, or quote unquote eyes, though. Just, yeah.
I love how its real eyes form the nose of the dog.
Kinda, yeah. Actually, they do. Actually, it's perfect.
Oh my god, I didn't notice that. Oh.
That was just more markings, but no. Oh. Why?
What's an arachnid but not a spider? So all
Same
spiders are
family,
I-
different.
all spiders are arachnids.
Are tarantulas arachnids?
Well, yeah, spiders are like under arachnid, so it's another. It's not a spider, but it's an arachnid.
So all spiders are arachnids, but not all arachnids are spiders.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
It's like not all all squares are a rectangle, but not all rectangles are squares.
Yeah.
I'm learning something new. I thought arachnid was for spider. That looks like a goddamn well spider, though. So I'm stuck on this because I'm waiting for your answer because I feel like you're searching it up.
Yeah, I was looking at the Wikipedia page for arachnid to see what else is in there. And it turns out that mites, some kinds of mites are arachnids. Scorpions are arachnids. Spiders, of course, are arachnids.
So when you have arachnophobia, is it only spiders or is it all arachnids?
I imagine it's all arachnids,
Probably.
right?
Like the with the daddy long legs, like which aren't technically spiders, but I'm pretty sure they're also in the same family. I
Yeah.
think. And then the people that are afraid of spiders are afraid of those as well, generally. So
Right.
yeah.
Apparently, there's also Pseudoscorpionida, which
I almost
is
thought you were going to say sceudomorphism. I don't know what. Sceudomorphism. Well, that's why Apple had to get rid of that. Can't have any spiders in your UI.
Pseudoscorpionida, which is I don't know which portion of the taxonomy that is, but it's the classification for pseudoscorpions. So apparently there are scorpions that aren't actually scorpions. Those are arachnids too, but
Yeah.
Yeah, like the sand spider. The one that's actually, it's called a spider, but it's not a spider. It's an arachnid, but it's a scorpion.
Right.
But it's not actually a scorpion because it doesn't have a tail.
Yeah.
I thought computer scientists sucked at naming things, but that's pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Let's name this thing a spider, but it's not actually a spider. It's just in the arachnid family, but it's actually a scorpion, but not a scorpion.
So the picture lower down on the page is worse, I think, because it's spine. Like the ears are like spiny, like cone things.
Sensors,
Yeah,
like ears.
probably. I don't know.
Oh God, no.
It's diseased.
I guess I can see why they called it the bunny harvestman, because if those spines get any longer, it looks a bit like some sort of deformed rabbit.
Yeah.
No, it still looks like a dog
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
with spike ears.
You know what looks like a fox though? This guy.
Oh wait, I have Guy Fawkes right here.
That's a different kind of fox.
Yep.
It's a fake fox.
It's an explosion fox.
It's a foe.
Fake fox. But I was a fox.
Yeah, I get it.
On the 5th,
Faux fox. Faux fox.
I was a Guy Fawkes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome. The images were snapped in Ecuador in July 2017. The creature is tiny, which its body is barely the size of a human thumbnail, but it is immediately noticeable for its odd-shaped head that looks like weirdly like a dog, or a bunny rabbit.
That's not a tiny spider. Thumbnails are large nails.
I don't like the
I
slow
don't-
zoom.
I don't.
I really don't like the slow zoom.
Oh God, that's so. No, I don't like that at all. No, I don't like that. I do not like that.
I'm getting goosebumps. Oh.
It's so weird how it's like a dog head just like floating.
It's just the body of the spider.
What's it doing to its leg?
Cleaning
Cleaning
it,
it.
nibbling it.
Ugh.
It's cleaning
Yeah.
its legs.
Long ass fucking legs, Jeremy Blake. Why don't you get on this?
No, we know
Monday,
what you
Tuesday,
did.
leg day.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
No tall spiders.
I think that guy can skip a few leg days.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8 specifically.
It's not like a bunny rabbit. Really like dog or bunny rabbit. If you're nerds like us, it's certainly Black Dog from Harry Potter, and complete with eyes, ears, and nose. And the video post about the creature on the website Rumble, Kay revealed some more details about the creature. He said that the animal comes from the Phasmidae family in the order of opalines. These are also known as harvestmen, or more commonly known as daddy longlegs.
Oh, so that's what. Oh, that's
So
what
it's a daddy wolf leg.
Daddy wolf leg.
And that's a suggestion.
And Bang suggests
Oh.
daddy
dad-
wolf legs.
Wolf
daddy-
leg or wolf legs?
Well, I'll do plural
Legs.
for now.
It needs to be plural.
The daddy wolf legs.
Fisk McTaggart says, "Move on, please."
Contrary to a common belief, the harvestmen do not have venom glands and are absolutely harmless. It's fursuiting as a dog. It's not harmless anymore.
Yeah, it's just fursuiting.
Don't believe its lies.
Harvestmen have been around for at least 400 million years and lived well before the dinosaurs.
Okay.
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 Well, I'm going to close that tab now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I have something completely different.
All right.
Samsung built a robot butt just to test its smartphone durability. Deep inside Samsung's HQ in Suwon, South Korea, countless engineers spend the better part of each day putting the company's latest handsets through a series of grueling and wince-inducing durability tests. Before a Samsung smartphone is able to reach the market, the electronics giant wants to make sure that it is able to withstand a significant beating and continue to function properly. On a recent trip to Korea, we were invited to Samsung to take a tour of its dedicated testing facility, and we made our way through the company's labs, each more diabolical than the last, and we came to understand just how seriously the company takes its quality control. Even if one of these tests does involve an undeniably quirky robot butt dressed in blue denim jeans, no less, repeatedly sitting on handsets. It is literally a, blue jeans butt on, a piston that just slams into the phone. Creating a dedicated robot is behind a concept that is perhaps a bit left of center, but it is also one that succinctly demonstrates Samsung's commitment to the testing of its products in real-world scenarios, and that butt's just the tip of the iceberg. There's plenty more going on in Samsung's mobile quality test lab, where phones are subject to every test you can think of, from talking dummies, which test call quality, through to chambers that simulate extreme weather conditions. There is plenty of wind, wild, and wonderful on display. There aren't many professions where you get paid for playing video games despite the stereotype, and that's not even the case for journalists. But the team responsible for Samsung's thermal lab testing is actually tasked with playing games on various devices for extended periods of time, though general usage is tested too. During these intense gameplay sessions, the heat levels of these test phones and tablets are studied closely using advanced thermal cameras with images taken in a Predator-style heat vision on nearby monitors. And they just have tons of photos and stuff of Samsung's test lab, including the robot butt, but that's pretty cool. I don't know about you guys, but I never put my phone in my back pocket.
Not me neither.
Yeah, no.
I can't even put my wallet in my back pocket. Like, it's not even because I'm worried about breaking something. It's just because it's uncomfortable for me.
Well, like, I could see, like, just sitting on your phone accidentally, like it's on your chair or on the couch or whatever.
Exactly.
And I guess you could test for that.
Yeah, but I think some people do put their phones and like other things in their back pockets.
Back when I was in high school, it was really common for like the girls to put their phone in their back pocket because girls' pants have nothing that you can insert anywhere on the front side of the pant. There's no pockets. There's nothing you can. They're awful for storing things. So the back pocket's the only place they have to put them.
Yeah, hopefully that trend goes away. But yeah.
And even then, the back pockets are ridiculous because they're only like 3 inches deep. And if you have one of those giant Samsung Note phones, it
I
sticks
see that all the time,
mostly
yeah.
out of your pocket.
I've seen that, yeah. People were like, more of the phone is sticking out of the pocket than in the pocket. And it's like, like, no.
Don't go to any place where pickpockets are common.
Yeah, but no, it's interesting. You know, it's cool, the stuff that these companies have to do. Yeah, you know, that's part of engineering and design. Actually, my father, who's an electrical engineer, I've seen some of the stuff at the company he works for too, and they design specific like PCB mount parts for like electronic circuits. And one of the things they have to do is they have to put them in like, you know, these insane like super hot, super cold, really humid environments. And there's these machines that will literally just make the temperature, you know, like 60, 70 Celsius and then, you know, minus 20 Celsius and then 60, 70 Celsius and then minus 20, just over and over and over and over just to see like what happens. It's really interesting. But yeah, so Samsung built a robot butt. So that's that. Also, I have a quick shout out while we're in between articles. If anybody has something next, maybe pick something.
Possibly the Under Armour one.
But real quick, I'm going to add something to the roundup. It's this. It's a podcast that somebody just messaged me about called Tipsy Tales. And I always do like to share podcasts. Now, I have not listened to this podcast, so I'm not necessarily endorsing it. But I am just giving you guys a link because it was linked to me, and it seems kind of cool. Basically, they read a bunch of furry fanfics and they get drunk. Or inebriated, shall we say. Or tipsy. So that seems like it might be an interesting podcast for people to check out. But it's tipsytales.podbean.com. So if anybody's interested, you can check that out.
Someone should set up a furry podcast hosting site called Podbean.
Podbean.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I feel like I shouldn't ding myself for that one, but...
It kind of is the equivalent of liking your own tweet, but, you know, that's okay. I'll give you a pass.
Okay.
Anyway, somebody want to do the moth one? That was really interesting.
Oh, should I? Okay, again, Pharaoh, do you want to take that one or should I?
Sure.
It's the top of biology.
Okay, so that's your take. Okay.
Moths build nests out of acoustic foam to avoid bats.
Wow.
That's not actually what it's about. Do you have the correct article?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yeah, he has the correct one. I was gonna say moths build recording studios.
Yeah.
Just have a moth furry just be like, yo.
It sounds like they would be very good at it.
Yeah.
Moths use acoustic camouflage fur to evade bats.
Acoustic camouflage fur.
Camouflaging fur, but yeah. It's interesting.
So it like doesn't reflect?
Acoustic
That's the idea.
camouflaged acoustic camouflaged fur.
I still like the idea of like just screaming at bat furries. I do it all the time. Just scream at them.
Yeah. Screech.
Don't scream at hard disks.
No, don't scream
do
at hard
that.
disks. That's such a great video. I haven't seen that video in so long. For those who haven't seen it, there's a video of a sysadmin demonstrating that small, minute vibrations can like really screw up hard drives. So he's in this like really noisy data center, and they're watching like the read-write stats on like a hard disk array, and the guy goes up to the server and just goes into the server, and like it actually you can see it on the graph, like the write speed and the read speed just like drop on the graph. It was so funny. That was great. Yeah. Oh, somebody just linked it in chat. Riley just linked it in the IRC chat. Shouting in the data center. It's so good. That's a classic video.
Someone learns that you just have to scream in data centers because it's not protected from screams. It just crashes servers.
Well, Twitter was bought down today by
a screaming group of kids.
Yeah.
It's a field trip.
or like some guy like threatens his boss, if you don't give me a raise, I'm gonna go into that data center and scream. I'll take down your website
as loud as I can.
As loud as I can. Tech Wolf says SSDs don't mind too much though. That's true. Yeah.
Anyway.
So SSDs are normal. Used to the abuse.
Yep. SSDs are.
They had very loud parents that screamed and fought every day, so now they're just accustomed to it.
You could say, and this is awful, that SSDs are into BSSDM.
Don't.
Yeah, we're gonna move on now.
Bell.
We're gonna move on now.
SSDs are just sadomasochists.
Solid
sadomasochist.
Solid state of masochist.
Sadomasochist.
Like the Damascus knives. So it's sadomascus.
Oh my gosh.
And stop.
And then
solid
don't
state
forget
masochism.
What about NVMe drives, which could be not very masochist either? You know, SSDs are, but not NVMe. Not very masochist either.
Yeah.
Or something.
Well, NVMe drives, they're living on the edge.
Oh, yeah. Not very...
Also, I just want to repeat it. Pharaoh did say solid-state masochism, and I suggested that.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Solid-state masochism.
I think we were talking about moths.
Solid-state domination. Are we reading about moths?
We're supposed to be reading about moths.
Anyway, passive acoustic camouflage.
Is it really passive?
Passive-aggressive. Something. Passive-aggressive camouflage.
Just you wait.
How would passive-aggressive
I just imagine,
camouflage work?
You blend into like foliage, but then there's just like text written across it that just says "fuck you."
Yep.
And it's like, wow, I can't really see him.
Do not disturb the plant life.
Yeah. Do not walk on grass. And like you're just dressed up like grass lying on the ground, but then it says there's like a sign, "Do not walk on grass" or something. Oh my god. The safe word is blackout.
Safe word is read write.
The safe word is defrag.
I hate you all.
You started it.
Especially because SSDs, well, depending on the file system, SSDs sometimes need a small amount of defragging, but it's a different type of defragging. It's not normal. It's not disk defragmenting. It's file system defragmenting.
I think this is a conversation for the other podcast.
Yeah, which is definitely not a tech show.
totally
Yeah,
not
the one
a
that's
tech
not
show.
about tech.
What kinks
Yeah.
that SSDs have?
Yes.
Yeah.
They like being screamed at.
ATA secure arrays. Yeah.
When's if like screaming at SSDs actually makes them perform better?
And then they just hire people to just scream. It's like Monsters Incorporated. Like
Yeah,
only
exactly.
only children can like.
It's like power the data
Oh, I
center.
gotta harvest
Only
the
the screams of small children can make my SSDs perform faster.
Yo, my gaming rig, man. I hired like a bunch of little kids from the local elementary school, and my FPS is so good.
No, you don't have to. Just hook up a like a mic input from like an Xbox Live stream and just hook it into your computer.
Yeah,
That's
except
all
that wouldn't.
yeah.
Wouldn't. Well, my load times, not FPS.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sure.
Before anybody bitches at me, having a fast drive in your computer doesn't actually really affect your FPS. Sorry. Somebody would.
Anyhow, scientists in the UK have discovered that the fur of some moths can be absorbed up to 85% of incoming ultrasounds. According to the researchers, this fur acts as a sheath coating.
Stealth coding.
Sheath coating.
Sheath coating.
Acoustic sheath coating.
It's not.
Bang. Yeah, I'm so supposed
It's
to get
acoustic
that one.
sheath coating.
We need to stop this before it starts.
It's acoustic sheath coating.
Yeah, you can't hear the sheath anymore. Like normally, when you put your ear up to it, you hear throbbing, but in this case, you can't because it's acoustically shielded.
From the throb.
Yeah, it's throb shielding.
That was your idea. You can take it.
Yes.
I'm getting that one. Suggest throb.
You can't even hear a pulse.
Is it dead?
Nope. Just acoustically sheath coated. Providing the moth's hat with a passive acoustic camouflage. It is passive acoustic.
It is. Yeah.
Camouflage. I had to read that again.
Yeah.
Passive acoustic camouflage. That helps
Stealth dicks.
No.
surprise butt sex.
It's like hyper, but reverse. Instead of your dick being like in the way, you want it to be stealthy.
My dick has a stealth stat of 99.
You can just fuck people without them noticing.
But where's the fun in that? I mean, they can't enjoy it.
It's
then.
kind of like being a ghost though, or like a goo character.
I have seen some very good artwork of that.
Yeah.
To be fair.
I don't know. I was never into the goo thing.
Well, I meant the ghost.
Will it a
thing.
ghost orgy be a bukkake?
Oh my god.
No.
No, I'm not digging that. Never mind.
No.
Oh, this show is already a disaster.
I hate you so much. Fucking hell.
Why are you all sticky? I was in a bukkake. My house is really haunted.
You know what it
Don't keep
is?
saying it.
It's
Haunted bukkake.
it's where all that like horrible fake spiderweb comes from. It's
How do you spell bukkake?
Bukkae.
Yes, but you have to put the B-O-O in there.
Bookuke.
Oh yeah. That.
Yo.
Bookuke.
Yeah.
Haunted bukkake. I like that one. This is great. We're on a roll tonight, man. We're fucking. This article's great. We're on a roll with show titles.
We haven't even started
like
reading
two
it. We've got
sentences in.
2 sentences,
Speaking of haunted bukkake,
which we shouldn't have been, but I guess you could
there's a woman
continue
that
anyway.
claims that she got banged by 5 ghosts.
We can read that later.
Oh, do we?
I thought we did. You
Did we read that one last week? I thought
did
we
you?
did.
Did you?
Yeah, the woman who like married a ghost, or she's like trying to marry, or something like that.
Yeah,
I wasn't here last week.
Yeah, that's right. You weren't here last week. Yeah, I think we read that one last
Yeah, I
week.
thought that was last week. Yeah.
I missed that. Did you talk about bukkake?
No.
Well,
We
you
were-
got it in today. Are you happy?
we were bukkake free.
Ooh. Oh, he's about to.
Is that what moaning ghosts sound like? Ghost moans.
Ghost moans.
No, it's more ghost ejaculation, but that's what you hear, those wailing sounds.
So that's what that is.
Yeah, so now I won't be scared anymore. It's just ghosts orgasming in your house.
So I won't be scared. I'll just be uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what if you had like an evil ghost that was like trying to beat you, but then you were also into sadomasochism? So like as it was beating you, you were getting off, and it just made the ghost really uncomfortable.
I think
But he
that would
couldn't
be-
really leave.
How to stop your house from being haunted?
Enjoy it.
see, this is where the ghost catchers or whatever TV shows. You know all those like there's a whole bunch of them. Those TV shows where they're like, oh, this house is haunted and we're gonna set up hidden cameras. Blah, 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 blah. Well, like I just imagine that they just turn it into like film a porn scene, and all of a sudden it's not haunted anymore.
Well, you go into a very haunted house and you just start furiously jacking off and be like, yeah, I love it when you watch me. Come on, ghost, watch me.
Ectoplasm orgasm.
Ectoplasm.
Oh my god.
Yes.
No.
Can you scare a ghost? I feel like you can make a ghost uncomfortable.
Probably.
Oh, Samuel in chat says it was a woman who left a guy for better sex with her ghost guys. She was from my town, Bristol. Well, I'm sorry. It was Bristol, UK, I believe. Yeah, that's
it would
right.
be.
Yeah. What is bukkake? I feel like I shouldn't look that up. You would be correct.
Urban Dictionary that.
Yeah. just
No,
gonna
don't.
Just open a private window, you know.
As the fur acts as a sheath coating. The team says that the fur can inspire the development of biomimetic.
Biomimetic. Yeah.
Materials for ultra-thin sound absorbers and other noise control devices. So we can just put fur on small
No, yeah,
devices?
so no, these
like a
moths,
hairy computer?
we can hire the moths to build the next studio.
It's just like a studio just swarmed with moths. People are like, dude,
No, it's not moth. It's hair.
it's
So you
hair,
just,
yeah.
so you just need to make your walls
You just
hairy.
need to shave moths.
Paradox.
Right.
You ruined it.
I did. Why did I ruin? No, I didn't ruin it.
I was going to comment on that. When it came
Can we
to
then not use acoustic foam and just buy like that fake
Moth
fur,
fur.
to skin the
and
moths.
just literally cover the entire walls in fur?
just have a furred studio. That'd be so fucking creepy.
It'd be like Vor. Well, it's just placed the door over there with just a gigantic maw, and then you walk in and it's just all.
Usually the insides of things aren't furry though.
Well, this one is because
Okay, can I just say
it likes to be
that
touched on the inside.
I don't know why, but can I just say that the idea of like some furry who's like a vor furry having like a room in their house that's all like decorated to be the inside of a stomach, I think
yeah.
is
The vor
hysterical,
room.
but also really adorable.
Yeah.
Like that's just like wow.
Yeah.
If,
Yeah.
if that's like your level of living out your fetish,
You have to crawl through tight tubes.
Yeah, you have to like.
That's how you enter it.
There's all these
there's
like
there's no door.
There's like all these rubber tubes that you have to like squirm through to get to.
And then you fall into a ball pit.
Perfect. You know what? We now know what to do with your basement. There's the hole in your living room. You can make it a little bit bigger and just put a little tube going down there.
into a ball pit.
Oh, that's
Do a
that's
ball
our
pit.
vor room.
That's the vor room.
It's the vor basement.
Yep.
Vor is my favorite like fetish to like make fun of. Not make fun of, but
Yeah.
like I don't know. I just think it's adorable for
Yeah.
some reason. Vor is just so funny to me.
Honestly, if we could completely seal the inside of the basement, I would turn half the basement into a ball pit,
Just half of it. Yeah, it's perfect. Exactly.
completely filled with ball pit balls. That
Yeah.
There is the concrete divider already.
Actually, you know what? There's also the chimney. Where you gonna take that out and put the stripper pole all the way down?
only if the
fireman's
furnace
pole?
and the water heater break, because then you can't use a chimney to actually.
Right. That's unfortunate. Because that could have gotten to the ball pit.
Yeah,
Anyway.
the chimney.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ceramic tube, you mean? That runs through the whole house.
Yeah.
And the only part that's actually a chimney is up in the studio.
Yeah. Exactly.
And above the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when are we gonna make the studio furry? You just gotta order like a huge thing of like fake fox fur.
I mean, I guess, but there already is a bunch of acoustic padding around.
But I think fur would be a lot more acoustic treated.
I don't
Can you
know.
compare it to like
Well, the thing is, the surface is one thing, but then the absorbed.
when a fursuit screams, can you actually hear them?
It's all about the density. The fursuit screen.
Be like, the whole room, it would be an inside-out fursuit. We're inside the fursuit.
Yeah.
Trying to think of an inside-out fursuit. I kind of want to make that, but like the outside is like all like fake intestine and body parts.
No.
Like some gore fetish shit right there.
like a jumpsuit, but like
Ugh.
when you turn your fursuit inside out, it's like a skeleton with muscles and everything. It creep
I'll
everyone
pass.
out.
That like it's like a commission of like art of like your stomach with somebody in it. It's like
Yeah.
all Caesar somebody. I don't know. When
Candy
I-
gore's okay, I guess, but that's
Did you
a
say
bridge too
candy
far.
gore?
Ken
Yeah,
Sell in
I've seen that,
Ken
yeah.
Sell in IRC chat says when I move, I'm making a ball pit vor basement, and you're all invited.
Vor basement.
Vor basement.
Well, you know, like those tubes they use in construction sites that were like in Home Alone, where you attaches like one side at the top and then the
Oh,
other
yeah,
side
those
goes.
Oh, those, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like an esophagus.
Yeah,
Tube.
kinda.
Sure.
So you can use that. You just add some extra foam padding.
Yeah, I guess.
See, like I feel like the end of the adventure has come out in the bathroom. So like the other end of the tube finally just like drops you like into the bathroom, like near the toilet or something.
Yeah, but how do you keep all the ball pit balls from going out that end too?
Well, no, you have to go up apparently and then come back down.
Oh, okay.
The intestines in this creature work weird.
Can we read this article? This article's good, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, moths.
Bats love to eat them, which they hunt down using biological sonar techniques known as echolocation. And the arms race between predator and prey, some moths have evolved ears so they can hear the ultrasounds of bats and take evasive action. But it turns out that others have evolved a more passive-aggressive defense.
Passive-aggressive defense.
In the form of acoustic camouflage.
I just imagine like passive-aggressive acoustics is just like somebody's like, hey, you want to do that? And then it's just the response is, shh.
It's just a barrier that you're about to talk, and I just put up the barrier, and it's just acoustic that I can't hear you. I know that you'll say something, I'm like, what'd you say? And you go to talk again, I just put it back up, and it just blocks all sound. Passive-aggressive acoustics.
You can kind of do that with these acoustic panels.
You could.
If you try talking through them, it's really difficult. I would take it off, but then I'd have to put it back up on the wall.
It's too much work.
Yeah.
How'd you get those up there?
They're hooked with little brackets.
Nice.
They slide in. Yeah.
Looks nice.
Actually, oh, you know what I could do? Hold on. I'll just take one off. This wall over here. Hold on. Wait. We're going to do this.
So big.
We're going to do this. Ah, here we go. So here's one of the acoustic panels right
I feel
here.
itchy.
So it's just, just don't touch it. It's just
no.
exposed insulation on that side. But yeah, so like, it's just, exposed Rockwell insulation. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm going to mute all your mics and just talk, and it's just my mic. And then if I just put this in front, you just can like barely hear me through this whole thing. You're actually hearing more of the reflections from the ceiling above the microphone than you are through this. So yeah, these acoustic panels are really nice. And they were really cheap to make. It's literally just 2x4s and Rockwell insulation. Anyway, mics are on. There you go.
In the work presented earlier this week at the Acoustical Society of America's 176th meeting in Canada, Thomas Neal and colleagues at the University of Bristol used acoustic tomography techniques to compare the sound-absorbing properties of two species of deaf moths. These are the Madagascan bullseye moth and the Promethea silk moth, which are two species that are not bat prey. So if they're not bat prey, then why would they have...
Well, they're not bat prey anymore, because they evolved to hide from the bats. Or maybe they meant to say, like, they don't end up as bat prey? I don't know.
Because it would bother me even more, because, I mean, if you're using a control of moths that just aren't around bats or eaten by bats, but then...
Well, I think the control is a different condition.
Right.
At bat echolocation frequencies, the team found that the thorax fur of the moths acted as an acoustic camouflage, absorbing up to 85% of the incoming ultrasound. In contrast, most butterflies absorb just 20% of incoming sounds. So they kind of de-evolve. Oh no, sorry, I was thinking caterpillar to... It's butterfly to moth.
Do moths do the chrysalis thing?
Yeah, caterpillars
Yeah.
are both butterflies and moths.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why you can see like really designed caterpillars and be like, oh, it's going to be a butterfly, and then it comes out to be a shitty moth. I think there was an article that someone ordered like a bunch of monarch butterflies thinking that it was supposed to be monarch butterflies, and then they weren't monarch butterflies. They were all like some shitty moth.
That sucks.
But you should have known that from the actual...
But what they like caterpillars look like, yeah.
Yeah, what like monarch caterpillars look like. And yeah. But it's kind of hysterical.
Yeah.
I think it was like a school fuck up.
Oh, really?
Aww.
Poor kids.
That's hilarious, to be honest.
They were looking forward to those beautiful monarch butterflies, and you just get these shitty moths.
The fuck? Well, kids, we're teaching you about disappointment in life.
Yeah.
Not all things grow up to be beautiful.
Good save, teacher. Yeah, because they were the ones that fucked up. Anyway.
We tested the absorption from 20 to 160 kilohertz. This covers the frequency that most bats use to hunt their prey. So if you just kind of blast out 20 to 160 kilohertz around a house or something, would you just stop all bats? Would it be a bat wall?
No, I think, 20, yeah.
Or
No,
would it...
because, 20 to 160 is supposed to be the frequencies that bats use. So that's what... Oh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Shit.
that's... Yeah, bat
It's a
noises.
fucking ad. There we go. There we go, 19. I'll just blast that for a little bit.
Yep. We're exciting all the bats. In the
You like that, bats?
Yep.
Bat furries?
Yep.
I can't hear 19.
Yeah, they can.
I can't hear 19.
Oh, yeah, most humans can't.
Yeah.
which is why we need higher sample rates. Sorry.
Wrong show.
Oh, actually, wait, hold on. I have a high pass filter on the mic. Or low pass filter, sorry. Yep, I was low pass filtering everything above like 15K. Or everything below 15K. So that didn't even go through at all.
All right, try it again.
Hold on. Well, I'm not gonna, I don't know, read the article.
Well, I want to know how bats speak.
It was close enough.
Well, it's not just about the pitch, it's also about the fact that they scream constantly.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's more like... It's
So if
more
you
like
just
clicking,
constantly,
isn't it?
scream out like 20
if
kilohertz.
you think about it, bats and fennecs are basically the same. It's just fennecs are low pitch, relatively, and bats are high pitch, relatively. But they're kind of the same. I mean, bats are basically just flying fennecs. They just scream constantly.
Well, there's the flying fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bat. Yeah, that's a bat.
I always wanted a bat when I was younger.
Why?
They're just flappy fennecs.
That
Because
sounds
they're
like a show
cute
title.
and they
That's a show
hang on to you and then they'll lick you and everything.
Oh, bats are super cute. It's just that if
Yes.
they get sick, you're guaranteed to get sick.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
fact that if I get a cold, my bat's gonna get a cold. If my bat gets a cold, I'm gonna get a cold, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to share sickness
I don't want to
with my...
share sicknesses.
Have you ever seen the pictures of the bats that are like rolled up in a little burrito
Yeah, the
thing?
little burrito
Yeah.
boys.
They're so
Yep.
cute.
Little burrito boys. They're so cute. Yeah, bats are awesome.
You got a bat on your shirt.
I do. It's the Anthrocon shirt.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, this mic in the way.
Oh, yeah. There you
This
go.
way.
Aaron, I'll do that. There you go.
Ah, there we go.
Anthrocon.
Anthrocon.
Yeah.
The scientists then shaved the moths.
Let's just everybody let that sink in for a second.
I still get... Yeah, they shaved moths in the name of science.
That's the experimental group. The control group was the unshaved moths.
What do bats like more, shaved or unshaved thoraxes? Find out more.
Yeah.
Is there furry porn of shaved thorax versus hairy thorax?
Sounds like a question E621 can answer.
Can you search shaved thorax?
Yep, I'm going to.
So Remus says, so bats can slow your hard drives? Well, ever since those bats got into the server room, everything's been really slow.
Sadly, it doesn't look like shaved thorax is a tag.
We broke Rule 34.
Wow, we broke Rule 34. There's no shaved
Well,
moth.
no, if you looked at E620, did you look up Rule 34?
No.
There's the Rule 34 website.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I'll give that one a pass.
Nah.
You're not going to look up shaved thorax on Rule 34?
I mean, I guess if you want me to.
Private window.
We need to know. Like, this might
Oh,
break,
yeah, private window. Yeah.
this might break the internet.
Yeah, it could.
No images were found to match the search criteria. Let me try it without an underscore.
You heard it, bats. You have to fix that.
Does hairy thorax?
Do you think about this, Farrah? Do you really want to know? Do you really want to know?
Well, we discovered that momhandjob.com was a website, but dadhandjob.com was not. So, I mean,
Until someone bought it. Didn't one of the fans buy
Yeah,
it?
Nur bought it.
Yeah.
No, neither of those with or without an underscore exist on either site.
Like I said, we just broke Rule 34.
Well, I thought part of Rule 34 was that if it doesn't exist, you must create it.
That's true. So
That's Rule
Get
35.
on that. Oh right.
Oh, okay.
So we did. Okay.
how do you like your thoraxes? I prefer shaved. It's so unnatural.
If you shave it though, when it comes back, it's all like sandpaper in it.
Sandpaper
it's
moth?
pain. Sandpaper thorax.
You just throw moths in the room and they just like sand the walls.
It'd be great
Wait,
for...
it's a solution for the living room.
For the living room network, yeah.
Just hire the moths,
Yeah.
the shaved moths.
Hire shaved moths is a thing I don't want to ever hear again outside of this room.
Hey,
ever.
do you have any shaved moths available? Excuse me? Yeah, I was looking to rent some
We
shaved
just drywalled
moths.
a room, and we really need to hire probably a couple tens of thousands of shaved moths. Sir, you have a problem. No, just a lot of work.
I just have a lot of work to do. I'm a busy man.
Not busy like a bee, busy like a moth, though. When fur was removed from the moth's thorax, researchers discovered that the chance of the moth being detected increased out by 38%. Neil told Physics World that this is due to the change in the detection volume. of the fur. Detection volume. We are able to calculate the change in detection distance by which a bat would be able to use and detect a moth with its fur intact and a moth with its fur removed. Neil explains we do this for numerous angles, which allows us to calculate the detection volume, which is the volume of a 3D space in which the bat would be able to detect the moth. When the team examined the insects, they found that the fur on the moths both thicker, denser than that of the butterflies. Neil says that the structure of the layout of the moth's fur is similar to that found in natural fibers like hemp and kennef that are used for sound insulation, but on a much smaller scale. Just kill a bunch of these moths and just use it as insulation in a house.
Yeah, you can replace all of these panels with like really thin.
Just dead moths.
Yeah.
Just breed moths in the walls of your house that are similar to rock wall.
Oh no.
Then once you've had a substantial amount, poison them. And you will fill all of the cavities in the sides of your house.
I feel like they would just rot and clump up.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And become absolutely disgusting.
The problem is you need to skin them first and then preserve it, and then you could use it.
Skin the moths.
Can you skin something that has an external skeleton?
So no, okay.
It doesn't have skin. It's just got a skeleton.
Right. So you do have to just shave it and keep the fur.
I don't think that seems like too much work. Just spray some formaldehyde. It'll preserve it.
Just
and also make your house smell like formaldehyde.
Spray formaldehyde in the walls.
Yeah.
Sounds like a terrible idea.
Preservation.
Platypus in chat says Dead Moth 5.
Oh my gosh.
We need to finish this. This is awful.
Well, I think I told you that the whole downstairs, all the wood paneling is made with formaldehyde.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
It was on a panel, like when I took one of them off, it says, "Caution, all of this is made with highly flammable formaldehyde."
Construction materials 100 years ago were weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not sniff the dust.
Do not sniff dust. Yeah.
So I removed most of that.
Good.
From most of the walls.
That's the way this house is. Like, It's so funny. Like, every once in a while, like, somebody will come over and, like, we'll be talking about fire code on something, and it's like, dude, if this house lit on fire, it would just, like, make no mistake. It's a 100-year-old house.
Yeah, and the fire would probably be started by that
laptop.
That's not a laptop. That's not a laptop.
That's not a laptop.
Make that very clear.
Well, fire burns up, so it doesn't burn down.
But houses burn down.
Depends on where the fire is.
Formaldehyde fire caused by box.
Oh, I heard your house burned down. No, it burned up. What?
That actually works. But no.
Your house doesn't burn down, it burns up.
Technically correct is the best kind of correct.
So everyone who tells you your house burned down, they're a liar.
I just imagine you saying that to somebody like, it's really
fucking
rough.
liar.
Like, my parents' house burned down, and you'd be like, oh, actually, it burned up. What the fuck, dude?
You would do that.
Yeah, you would.
Your brother was burned alive? No, actually, he was burned till he died, so I mean...
No.
On today's episode of Being Tasteless to People Who Are Grieving...
Shaved moths. And what to do with them.
Is that pretty much the end of that? Oh no, there's one more little paragraph.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fur provides stealth camouflage.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you, shaved moths.
I was not expecting that.
All right. Sophos, you had an article. This
do.
was an interesting one. And I also have a thing to show for this, but we'll show it in a minute. I'll let you get started with it first. Let's do... Actually, let's do this one.
Are you really a psychopath if you drink black coffee?
See, the thing that I think of when you say that is there's a lot of people who drink coffee.
Male or female? Because females usually like to have a bit more bitter palate. Females tend to have a palate that prefers more bitter things, while males prefer more sweeter things.
I'll get to the data in a bit, but I didn't see anything mention specifically gender differences.
Because I feel like black coffee is definitely bitter.
Yeah, it is. Unless you unless you run it through a cat first, but yeah. Anyway, that's a whole different matter.
Anyway, do you drink
catechology.
your coffee black? According to a few headlines circulating online right now, that might make you a psychopath. The same goes for people who enjoy other bitter foods and beverages like tonic water, kale, broccoli rabe, and radishes. We were, of course, curious to know more, so we dug up the original study on which these claims are based. We also looked at some of the other research on taste preference and personality traits. It turns out, a fondness for bitter foods is linked to some pretty dark characteristics. But it's also not as straightforward as some of the articles have made it out to be.
Hey, sure. How much sugar do you want in your coffee? Oh, no, I take it without sugar. Get the fuck away from me, dude. Don't kill me. Don't hurt me. It's just like associating, like...
Yeah.
So it's like some person just has... I don't know. I'm trying to think. Do the people I know who take their coffee black like horror movies?
Well, it's more about whether they exhibit psychopathic tendencies.
Yeah.
That's
but
true. Yeah.
Well, I know you're a good Paradox because, like, you're one of those people I learned apparently tonight that's like, would you like some tea with that sugar?
Yeah, I put a lot of sugar in my tea. Yeah. The kale psychopath. The kale killer of...
The broccoli Rob murders.
The kale killer of Kalamazoo is known to be bitter. Thank you, FNT Fox.
that study in the news right now, the one linking coffee to psychopathic personality traits, was actually published in 2016 in the journal Appetite. The study authors from the University of Innsbruck in Austria wrote in their introduction that some connection between taste preferences and personality has been established, yet the evidence is still scarce. Previous studies had shown, for example, that people with increased preferences for sweet foods were also more likely to have high levels of agreeableness and neuroticism. In other research, exposure to bitter tastes had been linked to harsher moral judgments and hostile thoughts and behavior. If those two things are true, the study authors hypothesized, it may also be true that people who prefer bitter foods and consume them regularly are more likely to have malevolent personality traits. To find out, they put together two experiments.
This bothers me a lot because it fails the correlation does not mean causation.
Yeah.
Whole idea of science. There's too many variables for this to be actually plausible, and the fact that you can literally take any two things that have a similar trend. And just saying, the scientist in me is really bothered by this because
so far, I don't know. We'll see. We have the study. We actually got access
by
to
an
it.
Appetite book.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's a journal called Appetite, so it's not just like a cookbook.
Yeah.
So you think, and then you go buy it, and like half of the recipes
Well,
are...
I used my university login credentials to look at the actual journal article, which we have, so we can look at it like in all of its gory statistical detail in a few minutes. In the first experiment, the researchers used an online tool to survey 500 adults of varying ages and education levels. The participants were asked about their preferences for various foods representing sweet, like candy and chocolate cake, sour, like lemons and vinegar, salty, like bacon and beef jerky, and bitter tastes, like coffee and radishes, as well as how much they liked foods and beverages from these groups in general. They also took 4 different personality tests. The second experiment was similar, except that the researchers also asked participants to rate the sweetness, bitterness, saltiness, or sourness of each of these food items individually. They did so in order to assess whether people really felt those foods belonged in their specific categories. Drinking coffee with sugar and milk, for example, successfully masks most of its bitterness, they wrote. But back to the results. The researchers found that bitter taste preferences were positively associated with malevolent personality traits, especially everyday sadism and psychopathy. Taken together, the results suggest that how much people like bitter-tasting foods and drinks is stably tied to how dark their personality is.
What the fuck?
So
that's a bit of a
I
don't know.
So it's not necessarily saying that because you drink coffee you are a psychopath, but it's saying that people who have dark personality traits and people who have dark personality traits are also likely to like bitter foods.
The thing that bothers me about this study also is the actually difference in palates between male and female, which is another key thing. The two different sexes actually have different palate flavors. Well, males usually tend to like, for the most part, I believe it's most males like non-bitter things, while most females like bitter things.
Yeah. And I guess the thing is like that.
But I think it actually has
really...
I think it has to do with actually how the palate is designed, both in male, female mouths.
Like,
which I can look it up, but I remember that
I
being
think
a thing.
they didn't really mention it because that wasn't really the point of this study.
Well, that's a good point
well.
though, because there could be gender differences that
could
cause there to be a lower correlation or a higher correlation. But I will, after I finish reading, I'll look at the actual study again and see if they mentioned that, because I didn't notice it in my cursory reading.
Yeah, they did a few studies. 449 participants for one. Oops. Oh, I'm getting weird. I'm trying to search this document. 953 for another. For 500 participants for one. 400 participants for another. And they did define how many were female and how many were male, but it doesn't look like anywhere in here they separate based on female and male results, though. I'm also looking at the results here, and I don't think I see anything that's... Yeah.
It might also be worthwhile to look at the citations at the bottom and see if they mention anything that seems vaguely related to gender or to sex-based taste differences.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
In the first experiment, but not the second, a bitter taste preference was also linked to narcissism and Machiavellianism, a trait that involves willingness to manipulate and exploit others in order to achieve one's goals. Together, narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy make up what psychologists call the dark triad of personality traits. So, what does this mean for people who drink their coffee black or love bitter greens? Probably not a whole lot. Stephen Myers, PhD professor of psychology at Roosevelt University, reviewed the study for Health and says it found only a very small association between taste preference and personality. The findings need to be interpreted with caution, and the results need to be replicated by others before they deserve widespread attention, he says. The link between bitter taste preference and antisocial personality traits was significant only when the study authors used certain measurement techniques, Myers explains, and it disappeared when the authors asked respondents how much they actually preferred specific foods on their bitter list. Perhaps this suggests that antisocial people have a more provocative way of responding to survey questions when they are asked in general terms about themselves, he says.
Yeah, I was going to
Well,
say that. That's the other problem, too. When you survey people about themselves,
Yeah.
it's always a slightly weird...
Skewed
data point there. But yeah, I've got the data up on the screen right now if anybody's interested. We unfortunately can't link you guys to the PDF because we had to get it through Sophos' university link. But if anybody's in university and you have access to,
the Elsevier science bundle of journals, you can probably get access yourself.
Yep.
I just want to get like an overall access to a bunch of scientific journals, just because I think it'd be nice to actually read the actual scientific journals and news articles based off of them.
Yeah.
But also, I was just pulling up the taste closely to smell are related, and it's surprising that women also tend to have more sensitive palates than men. In fact, research from Yale University has found that women actually have a lot more taste buds on their tongues. About 35% of women and only 50% of men can actually call themselves super tasters, which means that they can identify flavors such as bitter, sweet, and sour more strongly than others.
Huh.
And that women, and during their childbearing age, which some women have been able to taste poison, or what poison would taste like synthetic poisons.
Oh, wow.
When they're pregnant.
That actually makes sense from an evolution standpoint.
I mean, the one thing I was thinking is I thought super taster was related to texture, not flavor. Maybe it isn't. Okay.
Might be a different thing.
Yeah, I thought super tasting was like the count of how many taste buds there were per certain amount of area on your tongue.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
What's the way to differentiate between sweet, bitter, sour, umami, I think is the other one, or there's more than...
Yeah, that's the sixth one.
But it's how closely you can actually taste each one.
Yeah.
But you can actually... There's a test to actually be a super taster, to test to see if you are one.
I think I saw a video of it one time, and it's just like someone taking a long Q-tip and prodding your tongue with it.
Yeah. I don't remember. Anyway.
In other words, you are more likely to learn whether a person has aggressive or psychopathic tendencies in a restaurant by watching how they treat you or their waiter, Meyer says, compared to watching how much they enjoy their bitter foods and drink. The study authors also point out that there are plenty of other things that influence taste preferences, including genetics and societal norms. And there are plenty of foods that might initially be aversive to us, including beer, wine, chili pepper, and yes, coffee, that we learn to enjoy for various reasons. For example, a college student who needs to consume caffeine in order to stay up late enough to finish their papers.
Yeah, exactly.
Overall, research relating what people like to eat to their personality is still in its early stages, the author wrote in their paper. The authors, sorry. They do point out that a preference for bitter taste might be a useful real-world behavioral correlate of antisocial personality traits similar to unusually intense eye contact. Nowhere in their study do they say, however, that liking bitter beverages automatically makes you a sadist or psychopath. So, while these findings may make for fascinating conversation around the office coffee machine, there's certainly no reason to start shunning your coworker who likes her brew black. And by the way, coffee is good for you, and that's especially true when you go easy on the cream and sugar. And those are both links to other articles on health.com, so take that with a grain of salt.
I smell a coffee lobbyist.
Coffee lobbyist.
Or just someone who
coffee
wants
might be
more
good for you,
clicks.
but caffeine is not. So I mean, if you get decaf coffee, you're actually better healthy.
Well, that's another thing. Isn't there? Didn't I read? I think I've read somewhere that there's not really such a thing as decaf coffee. It's just coffee that has less caffeine in it.
Well, and I think that's actually
such a
Otherwise, it
minute
wouldn't
amount.
be coffee. Right? Yeah. So, but it's different.
It's pretty much caffeine free.
Yeah, I forget
it's
how
just
they.
really low
I think that's actually one way to extract caffeine too, because I know you can buy
That's
liquid
also
caffeine.
true.
I remember when I was at Fizz's place recently, they literally had like a squirt bottle of caffeine. What's funny though is when you taste it, you'll start to taste caffeine in other things. Like it's really weird.
Honestly, I found that
It's
like
very bitter.
I found that like the caffeine pills are an efficient way of getting caffeine into my body when I really need it.
Yeah,
but
caffeine is the most abused drug, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. As far as I'm aware, it's the most abused drug. So that's a thing.
I know Tim Hortons still uses the Swiss decaffeinization process.
Okay.
Using a Swiss water system.
I didn't know that.
They just like is it like they soak the beans in something, or is that how it works? I don't know how it works.
Do you decaffeinate the coffee before or after
I'll
you
look
brew
into
it?
that.
Before.
Yeah, it would be
You
before.
decaffeinate the beans themselves.
Right, that's what I thought. Yeah.
And then you roast the beans afterwards, which pulls out the caffeine from the beans. But then you reinfuse the flavor back in without the caffeine from it, so you don't lose the flavor of the beans. And then you roast the beans, grind them up, and then you have the packaged beans that are now decaffeinated.
Interesting.
You can also use chemicals to decaffeinate the beans, but most people don't like to use chemicals to decaffeinate the beans because you're going to drink those beans.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Maybe it was tea I was thinking of, not coffee. That there's not really a such thing as a decaffeinated tea, because I'm not sure if that same process would work on tea.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Maybe I'm just confused.
Here's the coffee wiki that gives you the information on that.
Okay, I can check that out later. Send it to me on Telegram. You can check your Telegram.
Here, it's in the chat.
Which one? The Furcast chat?
And now the...
They're both the Furcast chat.
Which Furcast
The
chat?
Room of Reckoning.
Okay.
Now, there's the chat, and then there's the Room of Reckoning.
All right, you guys are listening to Furcast and XBN. We'll be back after a quick music break.
You're listening to Furcast.
Support for Furcast comes from Patreon. Oh, that reminds me, really quick. Patreon shoutouts have not been updated because I didn't have time this week, even though they normally would be updated for this week. Really fast. Shout out to Cody Fox with 3 X's, who's back in the Patreon shoutouts. And we got Hybrids Are Fur too from Demonic Vel on Twitter. Also, the Feline Supporter Lines updated their shoutout. It's Mao for All and All for Mao. And providing fandom news since 2015, World in Review, which I believe is Tanaru. So shout out to those guys for supporting us on Patreon. You're not in this round of shoutouts, but you will be when I update it for next week. Sorry about that. Support for Furcast comes from Patreon users, including Blaze Fusky, Shaman the Photon Wizard, Fayun, Oliver Fox, Energize the Wolf, Sweetie Darling, Midnight Plasma, Parafen, Jake the Husky, Anu Fox, Riley Lewusky, Binary Pause, Fireline Coyote, Code Yax, Loop, Tukiri, Dusky the Owlgriff, Lieutenant Fox, Doxy, Arceus the Tiny Tiger, Legalize a Woo, Mayru Snowmew, Jeb with an uppercase E and lowercase L, D Otter, Ski Sharp, Nether Lynx, Josh the Kazoo, Frost Woolgon, Wup, Adrian the Husky, Taru the Yellow-Nosed Doggo, Archon the Four-Eyed Dragon, Leon Wolfheart, Jax the Husky, Gwen the Bat aka Deep Moan, Decibel Fox, Zoopy Zoe the Oreo Tiggy, Vertical Feline, Fuzzy the Fox, Crazy Wolf, A Certain Horse, and Gaia Wellen.
Additional support come from social media. Twitter users, Commander Wolf 3, Alpha Were Fox, Magic 7 Wolf, Kazro Fox, XSS Fox, Dark Wolf Beats 14, Drop Table Foxes, Dapper Panther, Jesse A. Carver, Cyrus L, Mike Chrome Fox, Malactus on Twitter @Virtual Fox, Zelig on Twitter, at Stealthy Dragon, 12 on Twitter, at The Lion Thing, Shua on Twitter, at Pulsing Panther, Kota Winter on Twitter, at Dakota Wolf 12. And from YouTube channels, hi you Martin.
Additional support for Furcast comes from Devin D. Parlett in the Furry Hockey League at furryhockeyleague.com, Macro Wolf at macrowolf.com, Shisha Sheppy, who's a good boy, record not found in table Foxes with primary key Dark Vox DK, Harry Who Ink Pen Mouse at harrywho.com. Please stay out of the designated tar seating on public transport. This is a public service announcement by the Quadruped Care Foundation and Nadia Mayer. Silver Moonshine, Fursuit Maker, and future pup you fur. Patty, who says what Socks says is true. Socks, who says what Patty says is not true. Nectris the Coy Dog Rogue, furry tabletop enthusiast since 2009. Saucy Fox, who says, I'm trash. Raccoons, HMU. Fishmeister Cod, still not a furry since February 2011. Sorcerer Dale, the Kilted Dragon. Find me on Telegram at Sorcerer Dale. Fisk_McTaggart, on FA. Will draw for food. Spurrigs, still working on muzzles since 2015. Cody's Customs, specializing in gas and diesel truck builds. Max Shepard, who says, fluffy Norwegian hugs to everyone. Little Sunshine and Scootaloo with the unofficial XBN Xbox app at patreon.com/horseapps. Furcast's #1 wimpy fan, Tyler the Wesky. Chris Dale, on FA, specializing in toonie art. I'm a couch and you can too. Find out more on Twitter at @SignAtar. The Church of Issoir, worshipping lynx since the year Tuft. X the Fox, the real blue fox. Deal with it. Kumo, wishing everyone a colon-3 day. To Bunny Boy, who says at Paradox, bunnies are friends, not food. Super Dwarf with anthrolinks.net. Skycorp, creating transformative technologies for mature audiences at skycorp.global. Zoopy Zo, supporting Tim Tam Anonymous meetings. Disc Cookie, creating procedural beat maps for VR rhythm games. Kranos, who says circles are rubbish. Meds the Fox, and Mississippi Anthropomorphics, like our Facebook page at facebook.com/msanthro. Techwin, TC Fox, and Kaiwana of the Infosec Den in Wellington, New Zealand. Sylvan Scott on Fur Affinity with macro, micro, and hyper fiction stories. Shadowclaw Studios, check out our Facebook page for links to our gaming streams. The Feline Support Alliance, or simply better. Come on. You can't tell me you don't want to cuddle right now. Come on, just a nice cuddle. Come on, come on. I'm a cat. Come on, you don't want to cuddle for my cat? What are you, inhuman? Shacket Airlines, we still and always will land on our feet. Silver Gatomon at patreon.com/Silver Gatomon. And Cheetah Paws for a daily dose of bulgy arts. Support him at patreon.com/Cheetah Paws.
Support for Furcast comes from Patreon, PayPal, Bitcoin, and from listeners like you. To become a patron and learn more about supporting Furcast, visit furcast.fm/donate.
This is XBN.
This is the Zana Broadcasting Network.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Shout out to Jeremy Blake for this one. It's called Depression Is Here. You can check it out on his YouTube channel, Red Means Recording.
Take my pills in the morning, one blue, one white. Let the voices in my head get a chance to wake up and step into the morning light. You gotta believe me. I'm doing the best I can. So if at first you don't succeed, try again. I can feel the wave, it's coming, and I can't get myself out of the way. So I'm sorry in advance if I hurt you, love. I'm really not myself today, but you gotta believe me. I got the best motives at heart. So if at first you don't succeed, fall apart. Because oh no, depression is here. Don't know if it's the chemicals or time of year. It doesn't really matter if I'm being sincere. Cause oh, depression is here. Say hello, everybody. The walking disaster's here. You'll suck the air right out of the room. If we're lucky, you'll just disappear. You gotta believe me. You really just needed a friend. So if at first you don't succeed, make amends. Because oh no, depression is here. Don't know if it's the chemicals or time of year. It doesn't really matter if I'm being sincere. Cause oh, depression is here. That's right. Because oh no, depression is here. Don't know if it's the chemicals or time of year. It doesn't really matter if I'm being sincere. Cause oh, depression is here. Depression is here. Depression is here. Yeah, depression is here. Depression is.
You guys are listening to Furcast and XBN. We'll be back after one or two more tracks. We just gotta get drinks. People go to the bathroom. Hope you guys are enjoying. Join chat if you haven't already. guys are listening to Furcast. That was Crossing the River by Kea Project. I found this on the Glitch Hop section on Beatport of all places. And we played it last night in the show, of course. Shout out to everybody who was there last night. Also live on the stream right now, we've got Furry Kerfluffle. They are doing a fursuit streetcar party right now in Toronto. I've got some pictures of that up on the screen as well. Some pictures of them in downtown Toronto on the streetcar, and it's awesome. We got their live stream pulled up. You guys can go to twitch.tv/furrykerfluffle, Kerfluf or FLUFFLE, to check that out. Furry Kerfluffle on Twitch. Check that out, their live stream there. Anyway, to continue our music break, we're going to play one more track on our stream called Magic. This is by Mystery Skulls. It's got a good music video. We'll be back after this, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us tonight. Join chat. Furcast.fm/chat. You can also join our Telegram chat. t.me/FurcastFM.
The spell you got on me, it's like magic. Got me feeling like a fall in love. Got me feeling like I never give up on. Got me feeling like I never give up on you. It's like magic. I got you feeling like a fall in love. I got you feeling like I never give up on. Got you feeling like I never give up on. It's like magic. Got me feeling like a fall in love. Got me feeling like I never give up on. Got me feeling like I never give up on you. It's like magic. I got you feeling like a fall in love. I got you feeling like I never give up on. Got you feeling like I never give up on.
You guys are listening to Furcast Live on XPN. That was Magic by Mystery Skulls, which, by the way, has an amazing music video. You should totally check it out. And we're back. Shout out to Furry Kerfluffle. Played a bunch of their live stream. They are on a streetcar right now, and that's actually where I would be if it weren't for the fact that I decided to do this show instead. But that's okay, because the streetcar thing also it's mostly a fursuiter thing. No, not a fursuiter, but But there's all kinds of people on there. Oh, that and it's cold.
Yeah.
I don't really. It's like -1 in Toronto, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, shout out to though Av for running for Kerfluffle because they're awesome. Those events are awesome, and shout out to all the Toronto furries who are having a fucking blast driving through a streetcar in the city of Toronto. It's pretty awesome. They actually charter a streetcar just for furries, and then they take it through. And apparently, the TTC love it, which is great.
Nice.
Yeah, the driver that they got was like really awesome and stuff. So yeah, really cool stuff. Anyway, you guys are listening to Furcast Live. Thank you for joining us, both on our live streams and in our chat room. And I guess we could probably read some more random friggin' news articles.
Yeah, we have a lot.
We do have a lot. I want Favor to read the first one under lifestyle. That's in there. I feel like
yes.
As long as you talk about Nicolas Cage.
Right? Should I do that first?
Yes.
We've talked about that before, the correlation causation thing with Nicolas Cage.
No.
I think we read an article about that once.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we did. But just to reiterate, you can find correlation. You can find correlations between many sets of data that are actually not related in the slightest. For example, the graph for number of deaths by falling into pools and the number of films which Nicolas Cage appears in per year are very closely matched, but they are not related at all.
Yeah. Well, so we think.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage could be like a serial pool murderer.
A serial pool murderer. But only when he's in a movie, though, for some reason.
Yeah. He just escaped the set.
Yeah, he escaped. Yeah, exactly. All right. Anyway, Fair's got a news article.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I knew this couldn't be real. I had to check.
I
had to fact check.
You had to fact check?
Yeah. It's definitely not real.
It's not.
Oh, it's not real?
No.
Oh.
Damn it. Really?
It's still a good
We
read.
could skip it then.
But no.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't read it if it's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Have we
Damn
read
it.
Onion articles before?
I've mentioned them, but I've mentioned that they're from the Onion.
Fair.
Yeah.
So this is a
Obese couple makes a 3-story fall after a floor collapses during sexual romp.
That was the article. Damn it. I'm glad you caught that.
That
Good
sucks.
on you for catching that.
Yeah, thank you for fact checking.
Okay, something else. Oh well.
There's a deer one.
Couple deer one.
The drowning cow. That one was.
This couple had very loud sex a few times a week, and the entire structure would shake every time. The walls cracked, the lights flickered.
Picturing this.
This old building clearly wasn't built to endure this kind of stress.
I think he's just afraid.
These old
trembling.
bones.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? The drowning cow one's perfect because it leads into other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pull it up on the stream because it has some photos. I'll read this one. I'll read it with this music too. Drowning cow saved by a mermaid on a 200-mile swim. And a photo over here, we got some stuff courtesy of the BBC. That's, apparently it's an actual thing. A drowning cow was rescued from a river by a passing mermaid on a 200-mile swim of the Thames. Lindsay Cole splashed in the river in a wetsuit.
Excuse me.
What?
It's the Thames.
Oh, Thames? Oh,
It's
whatever.
the Thames.
The Thames? Why the fuck would it be written that way?
It's just how it is.
It's the Thames.
Blame the
It's
British.
the Thames.
What the hell?
Thames.
Tame.
Anyway,
It's a
not-
very tame river, so it's
not,
the Thames.
It's not tame.
she was raising
not the
awareness
Thames.
of environmental
It's the
effects
Thames.
of single-use plastic. As she passed through Oxfordshire on Sunday, she spotted a stricken cow. Miss Cole said that she carried on swimming while her mother and support canoeist called the emergency services. The animal is believed to have fallen into the river from a nearby field when drinking, 2 miles east of the Swinford Toll Bridge. And they actually saved the cow. Dubbed the Urban Mermaid, Miss Cole had initially thought the animal was a large sheet of white plastic, but when she signaled for a support boat to retrieve it, they discovered it had 4 legs and was mooing. Firefighters from Oxfordshire Fire and Rescue Service River Rescue Team managed to attach a rope to the animal and hoisted it to safety. A spokesman said anybody who sees a stranded animal in need of rescue should always call emergency services.
Speaking of cows, we had an article about a bull.
Yes,
we do.
I'm sorry, support canoeist?
Now I'm picturing someone bringing like a canoe and like a canoeist onto a plane as their like support animal.
Support animal.
Emotional support canoeist.
Emotional support canoeist.
Yes.
Show title. How do you spell canoeist?
It's in here.
Canoeist.
Yeah, there we go. Got it. So anyway, what next?
Well, since
The bull one.
Since you're a cow, there's a bull gets stuck in a feeding ring. Someone else can read that one.
I thought you were volunteering to read that one.
No, I was bringing it to your attention for someone else to read.
I'll take it.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, but I got to click a continue reading button first, just so
and
that
then
they can make sure to show me an ad below the article.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
A Georgia ranch manager checking on farm cattle captured video of a bull with an unusual problem, being stuck in a metal hay ring. The video shows the Hereford bull walking around at the Cedarton farm with its head stuck between the bars of the hay ring, which surrounds its body. What I thought was going to be a normal routine check turned into quite an interesting adventure, the filmer wrote. When I pulled up to the bull's pasture, I saw a large bull walking toward me with a hay ring around him. The filmer said the ring did not appear to be causing the animal any discomfort. He did not seem at all concerned that he had gotten stuck in the hay ring. As I approached him, he looked at me just like, okay, get this thing off. I walked up and flipped the hay ring off the bull, and he calmly walked away. Hereford bulls are very docile, they wrote.
Yeah, that bull just does not seem to give a fuck. I'm playing a video clip of it now.
Yeah, bitches, he's my new necklace.
Yeah, it's pretty,
just out for a casual stroll.
No, you should do it. They should put a little one of those like tractor things behind it so it can plow the field.
No, he's wearing that so that the bulls can eat him.
Oh.
Out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway.
the food, you're my bitches.
Okay.
Bovine brethren.
That was it for that article.
Yeah, it was a short one. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Bunch of bull cocky.
No. I mean, bovines can be hot, but no.
You gonna read the one that's deer that walks into a bar?
Sure.
It's short as well.
I don't really read anything yet.
All right, I got one as well. Whatever.
Okay, this site also has a video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's the article title? Just give me a word.
A deer runs.
Deer. Okay, thanks.
Or deer walks.
Got it.
There are two ones about deer, though.
Okay, that's true, but okay. Cameras were rolling at a bar in Argentina when a deer ran through the business and crashed into a glass door. Security camera footage from the Johnny B. Good bar in the Pichincha?
I don't know.
District of Rosario shows the deer running through the business after crashing through a window. The footage shows the deer end up in the back area where a worker holds the door open for the animal. The deer crashes into the closed half of the double glass doors.
Oh no.
The one that wasn't opened.
Damn it, dear furries. Yeah, you
but
can see
the
glass
employee
door.
is able to use a broom to guide the animal outside.
Yep, you're watching it now.
Oh,
no,
poor thing.
It's so,
Yeah.
aw.
And it can't get any grip on the wood floor.
Right? There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, hooves,
Captured
hooves
deer
are
furs.
not good for that.
Just put a gigantic wooden floor out in the middle of the woods. Wait for them to come.
How to capture deer furs. All right.
And that's it.
That's it for that one. Self-driving cars could. Now, what do you think this is about?
Prostitutes.
You cheated.
Self-driving cars.
I did not. I have not even looked at this article at all.
According to academics, I love that. Academics. Self-driving cars could function as moving brothels.
Fuck yeah! I know how humans think.
Brothels could move into self-driving cars, British academics predict. A paper by researchers at the University of Surrey and Oxford suggests that pay-per-hour hotel rooms are likely to be replaced by autonomous cars when the technology is introduced. While SCAVs, shared connected autonomous vehicles, that's interesting, will likely be monitored to deter passengers having sex or using drugs in them and to prevent violence, such surveillance may be rapidly overcome, disabled, or removed. Moreover, personal CAVs will likely be immune from such surveillance. Such private CAVs may also be put to commercial use. As such, it is a small leap to imagine Amsterdam's red light district on the move, the paper says. Oh, that's good. A study titled Autonomous Vehicles and the Future of Urban Tourism, published in the Annals of Tourism Research,
just an urban fuck caravan.
also suggests that the budget hotel and flight industry could suffer if the cars are introduced, as travelers will opt to sleep in their cars and travel overnight between cities that they might otherwise have flown between.
I would absolutely do that to a con. If you
just take a van, make it like a bedroom, put like a porta potty in there.
no, not a porta potty. You have to make it a little bit nicer than that.
No, just do a porta potty. But it's not. You take the concept of a porta potty, which is just a tank with liquid inside.
No, just find an old RV and just take the bathroom out of it and put it into your van.
No, because an RV is a lot bigger.
Well, I know, but the bathroom doesn't have to be.
No, but you're missing the point. You're taking just a small van and just making a little mini bathroom out of it.
I'm saying make it look nice, so it's more comfortable.
No, people aren't, because they have to pay more for that. People don't want to pay more.
No,
people aren't looking for the fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, never mind.
I got mad and I broke my PC.
Did it stop working?
You broke your box? Yeah, it just...
Oh, wow, it is legitimately...
Yeah.
About time. Does it turn back on?
I don't know.
You just lost your articles.
No, because they're all in the chat now.
Well, time to get the backup computer.
Yeah, it's right down there.
They could also be the herald the end of the coach trip, as tourists who might have opted for a coach tour choose greater freedom and independence that comes with traveling in a car without having to worry about driving or finding parking spaces. This could lead to congestion and traffic in tourist hotspots, the researchers warned. Should CAVs replace traditional coach tours, major urban attractions can anticipate congestion of 10 or more CAVs may equal the capacity of one conventional tour bus. Yeah, that is kind of a problem with single-person vehicles in general with,
And an interesting thing is when I first saw this article, I was thinking, when I saw, moving brothel, I was thinking it would be, a larger, vehicle, like a self-driving bus with separate compartments.
Yeah.
Which, in theory, would make more sense for that type of thing. For the tourist thing. But, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still not working, sir?
No. The touchpad fell off.
It's dead. It's finally dead.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Pieces. Rest in pieces.
No, it just needs a few.
Many pieces.
I don't think it works like that once it's this far gone.
Did the power supply die? Did the power supply still connected?
I don't know.
Does anything smell burnt?
I think something just shorted when he touched it.
Surprised it didn't happen sooner.
Okay. Anyway,
what about the retirement home article?
Wow, idiot jumps into crocodile pit wearing Crocs, gets bitten by a croc. That's a great headline.
That's Nico.
Yeah, if Nico's on, I'll let him do that one.
Wearing Crocs. Sorry, Nico.
Okay.
I can read the Australian retirement home one.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah,
that'll be good. I'm gonna give you this one.
Retirement home alcohol ban slammed as un-Australian.
Retirement home alcohol ban. Un-Australian. Of all the problems that you could have with that, you're saying it's un-Australian.
Yeah, I would imagine that's a problem that Americans would have.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
I can imagine an American saying that would be un-American. In any case where you of any problem that you're gonna have with that. Does it say keyboard not found? Oh no, it says insert boot disk.
Oh yeah, I just.
Oh, the SSD fell out for the motherboard.
Yeah. And I flipped it upside down.
11 South Australian nursing homes have banned social groups from selling alcohol at their retirement facilities. The homes, run by Lifestyle SA, have banned alcohol because it believes the social groups are acting as commercial catering businesses.
Just smart old people.
Wow!
Residents in homes, many of whom enjoy the social committee's happy hour, see the move as an attack on their freedom.
Look at this picture. These very happy people.
Yeah.
Lifestyle
Although they aren't happy.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no.
Lifestyle SA has banned alcohol. Oh, that's just a pull quote. Residents aren't happy, calling the move an attack on their freedom. Let's call it unhappy hour now, one resident quipped. A few frothies are very important. The SA Minister for Health and Well-Being has also criticized the move. The move has... stupid pull quotes. The move has also been criticized by South Australia's Minister for Health and Well-Being, Stephen Wade. Banning resident communities from running social activities is in no one's best interest. We should be encouraging social activities that make residents happy, rather than standing in their way, he said.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
See,
That's it.
See, this is why you need to keep in contact and good relations with your distant relatives, because when you get old, you need someone to smuggle the booze into the retirement
Into the
community.
retirement home, yeah. There you go. That's great. All right. What? They're not working now?
Still not working. I saw it post.
Yeah, there's a Chromebook under the table if you need.
Oh, I unplugged this. So these ribbon cables are just really finicky when exposed to open air.
Okay.
Yeah, no kidding.
The ease of convenience, though.
Yeah, it's convenient to rip them out by accident.
Convenience of processing.
Sure.
People are posting like weird computer stickers in the Telegram group now. Man, that's ridiculous. There's the Bill Gates one, which I love how that's under technology.
I should bring my tough book for you to like borrow instead of that.
There's.
You can't destroy that.
Oh, it's got battery backup.
Do we have any emails tonight?
I think we have one or two.
Okay. Move on to that, perhaps.
Yeah, we could do that.
Speaking of drinking, you still have to try this thing on the table. Yeah.
The thing of
Kaiwana wants you to try the thing on the table.
What's the thing on the table?
It's Dandelion Burdock Soda, which is a traditional beverage from the UK.
Beverage.
No.
Beverage. No, I'm sorry.
All right, we could do a couple emails. I'll just kick us over to.
Are you not going to read the one about the old man who fended off a bear?
Nah, could read it next week. Yeah. Hey, Furcast listener. Dear Furcast crew, this is from KT Nightwolf. Dear Furcast crew, I just wanted to say that I love y'all's show. I listened to the episodes on Spotify while at work. It makes my day go by much faster when I'm listening to y'all's shenanigans and eating kids and editing kids' names and photographs for their yearbooks. Oh, okay. So I guess that's
different.
That's interesting. Anyway, although I did want to ask y'all, I like how they like typed y'all and every. Okay, although I did want to ask y'all something. Have any of you been to Texas Furry Fiesta before? I've gone the last 3 years, but I was always curious if any of you have all come to TFF. If not, what is your favorite con to visit on the southern side of the states? Anyway, just wanted to thank you all for being amazing and coming together to make the show. Sincerely, KT Nightwolf. So I have not been to TFF. However, I do have a couple friends who work AV crew there, including Ratchet. So shout out to Ratchet. Shout out to Zyro. Shout out to Anvil Devil. Shout out to a bunch of people that I know who help run and go to TFF that I know. But no, I've never been. I was going to go to FWA the one year, but then flights were kind of a thing. If there's any con I want to go to now, it's probably a tie between Euroference and BLFC at this point in terms of cons that I want to go to that I've never been to. But MFF is coming up. I'm super fucking excited for MFF.
Same.
Oh, so excited for MFF.
Yes.
But yeah, overall, I've not been to TFF. Any of you guys have? Been
I
to
have
a
not been to TFF. I've actually not been to any other SouthernCon either. I have heard good things about TFF though. To be fair.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Trying to
Possibly
think,
one day.
The southernmost con that I've been to was FurCons in New Zealand, but that's a different South. Yeah, that's alternative South.
Yeah.
South alternative. Yeah, no, that's pretty much that. Anyway, I will.
I went
mark...
to Atlanta, Georgia once.
There's an AtlantaCon, right?
Yeah, he's working on his laptop.
What? There's a AtlantaCon, yeah.
Which one is it? I can't remember.
Furry Week in Atlanta?
Ah, yeah, FWA. Okay.
I have one from Kismo, which I don't think we read. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure we didn't actually read this.
I have one from Google.
You have one? Oh, yeah, all the... No, we did not read that one. If anybody wants to grab the one from Kismo, it's starred in the inbox. It says, "Greetings, Furcast."
I can take it. Do you?
Yeah,
you can take it.
Yeah, you can take it so far, so good.
Hello, hosts and guests of Furcast. My name is Kismo, and I've been listening to your podcast for 2 years now. I first found your show while I was living in Italy, but have continued to tune in even after I moved back to the States. Through all the changes and growth of the show, I have always enjoyed your topics and laughs a lot. Onward to my question. After a few years of realizing I am furry, I'm 23 and was blind to it until mid-college, I'm still finding myself ashamed of being a furry. Do you have any advice on becoming more accepting of your furry side, even when most people critically judge the fandom and even treat furries poorly? I have tried so hard not to care what others think, but due to incidents in my life, I find it difficult to overcome this shame. For context, I was in the closet about being a furry in college, from hiding art from people, never telling friends, staying anonymous everywhere online, etc. I was part of a very popular crowd in college, was known by a lot of people, and knew mentioning furry stuff would not go well. However, I decided to say fuck it and be myself, and shared some of my art once with a friend, and then wore my suit head jokingly around very close friends at my apartment once. I did not push it in their faces, nor bring it up much, but instead of asking about it, they just, seemed to accept it and move on? Ultimately, this did not go well, and I no longer have those friends due to being ostracized and being gossiped about viciously. I even had to move states and deleted all social media. Let's just say I thought I went about sharing that part of myself really well and carefully, but I think people were looking for that one thing to have against me. Those were dark times, and I'm strangely glad to not be friends with all those people anymore. Since then, I've had serious issues with connecting to others out of fear that I will either be judged for a small part of myself or that I will have to hide who I am again. And though I try to connect with other furries online and near me, the shame I feel towards my furry side extends into a shame towards furry in general. Ironically, I'm ashamed of being ashamed. Anyway, I appreciate it so much if you took the time to read my email. I thought you would all have some good advice with connecting with other furries and that side of yourself, and I'd love to hear your personal experiences with this stuff. You all seem incredibly happy with the fandom and comfortable with that fuzzy side, and since I'm a subtle fur, no wooing in public or tail wearing here, haha, I thought your advice would be helpful. You all rock. And
then Google, for some reason, thinks it's a reply. Kismo. If any of you guys have advice, you can jump in. But my advice is, you need to just hang out with some furries, man.
Yeah.
Go to a con.
Definitely, if you can.
Yeah,
definitely.
Find some local get some friends who just are furry. I mean, and you could make the argument, your friends don't have to be furry, or maybe you don't want some furry friends and some normal friends. Okay, fine. But if you're worried about accepting, then just be with people who are like you. Yeah. And, maybe if you have a couple of additional friends at university or school, when I was in high school, I mostly had furry friends, but I also had some high school friends. They knew I was a furry, but I didn't really talk about it much.
Right.
And that wasn't why we were friends. And there's even some furries where I'm friends with them for reasons that aren't really necessarily being furry. And then there's other times, especially when you go to a con, where the thing that brings you together is being furry. And then there's other friends where the thing that brings you together is not being furry. It really depends. But anyway, my advice overall is just, go to a con. Hang out with some furs, because
I think this is another. Are you about to eat your hard drive?
Stop tonking your SSD, please. It's very uncomfortable with it, and so am I.
Anyway, I think this is another situation where it's just
when
kind
you
of
tongue your SSD, it actually performs better. Just like screaming at it.
That's a myth, Pharaoh.
Thanks.
Prove me wrong.
But yeah.
I think this is a situation where, like, exposure therapy would help. You just have to hang, like Paradox said, hang around with other people who are furries. And eventually...
And avoid people like me.
Sorry.
Sure.
Okay.
But if you hang around with other people who are furries, it will become more normal in your perception to be a furry. And things like talking about furry with friends or just generally being more comfortable with the idea of furry won't seem weird and scary, or not necessarily scary, but weird and shameful. It's just a thing that is.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then the other thing is when you go to a con, then you'll have a new group of people and it'll be fresh and you'll have a whole new lifestyle to live. And sometimes that can be really refreshing if you're kind of, I don't know. I think this goes without saying for a lot of furries. Being a furry unless you're really lucky or unless you're a certain type of person, which is not the type of person I am, being a furry kind of inherently means you are living multiple lives. Not only because, there's your persona and then there's you in real life, and there's that, but there's also the idea of like, in certain cases, you're going to be furry with your furry friends. In certain cases, you're going to be with people who aren't furries. There's also when you go to work, right? Like in terms of like, trying to be kind with people and discussing with people and like being social, I'm the same at work as I am normally. But in terms of my interests and what I talk about, and the kinds of people I'm around, it's obviously very different. So I think, and again, that maybe that doesn't go for everybody. I'm sure there are some furries that have just like said, fuck it. They work for furries. They live with furries. It's just 100% furry. But for most of us, I think it's, you kind of live a double life or a triple life or a quadruple life. That's just how it is. So, yeah. But, as you, I don't want that to sound intimidating, by the way, though. I don't want to make it seem like, oh, now I have to, like, start a second self to live this whole separate life that I can... No. Like, just go to a con, have some fun. You'll slowly figure out how to be what's appropriate at the right time. And it sounds to me like you're already thinking about it a lot, and I think it'll become only easier as time goes on, not harder.
And it doesn't even have to be like a con. If you could find just a local meetup or like a bowling event or some kind of furry meetup in your area, that's a good place to start usually as well.
Yeah.
And admittedly, I was somewhat fortunate. I was like when in high school, I was in a smaller private school, and there was a lot of people that actually had various like unique interests. So like we had the bronies, we had there's a lot of interesting people, but I think statistically they were a lot more accepting than a lot of people might be used to. And also, my parents are kind of the type where they don't really care either way. They don't really care to look into the furry thing.
Right.
They just as long as they know that I'm happy with it and I'm not, I'm being safe basically.
Yeah.
They just let me do me.
Safe
and again, admittedly, that I am fortunate in that, and I understand that not everyone has it like that.
Yeah, and that it's a little bit different for everybody, but it's like every person at the end of the day just kind of has to they have to determine things for themselves on what's going to be appropriate given the circumstance. Right. And it's the whole like time and place for everything argument, right? And that doesn't mean that you're lying, right? Like I don't lie to my coworkers. Like if my coworker said, "Are you a furry?" I wouldn't say no. Yeah. But I don't bring it up. It's not why I'm there. I'm there to do work.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way in that respect.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's pretty much it in terms of emails. We could probably call it a night at this point. We've been going for just over 2 hours. Oh. And I don't know, we could take some calls.
Right, yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. I hope our upgrades are going well, by the way. These are new microphones that we're using, at least Sophos and I. We also got new preamps. Also, the main camera is a new camera, which also doesn't have a power supply. That's why it just died a second ago, and I had to replace the battery because I ordered a power supply and it hasn't come in the mail yet. But we do have a new camera for the main shot, which is also why I do have that camera on Pharaoh, which I need to adjust, and I need to put a different lens on it and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, point is, hope things are going good. Also, we hope you enjoy the new Telegram chat. You know, like I said, we're trying it. We'll see how it goes. You know, it'll be a little weird having IRC and Telegram, but, you know, we'll figure it out. And maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't, and I don't know, we'll play with it. Maybe we'll do Discord someday, too. In the meantime, it's time for the post show. I've been your host, Paradox.
I've been your guest, Sophos.
I have been your other guest, Guy Wellen.
I've been your mad scientist, Pharaoh.
Mad scientist Pharaoh, huh?
No, you're mad computer repairman, Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Wait, where's my touchpad? Oh, you just kick it over.
Oh, your touchpad fell on the floor.
Oh, yeah,
there you go. Let's pick up your touchpad and put it back on there. You know, just normal things there. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure. Are we here next week? I think we're here next week.
Yeah, possibly not the week after.
When's I forget when is MFF?
2 weeks, I think.
Yeah,
2
weeks. Okay, so I think we'll be here next week. As usual, stay tuned to social media. Also, apologize that I haven't posted the latest 2 episodes. I need to work on that. That's the plan for tomorrow. Good night.